What it do? How y'all doing? It's me, Diddy Love, and the place to be. Ow, I'm glad y'all came through to see me. Okay. Drop down there, hit like, subscribe, and share. I care, and I appreciate each and every one of you. All right. Thanks for visiting me today. We here to talk about Tamar Braxton, Get Your Life, Season 1, Episode 2. You know, I didn't watch the whole review. I don't like to watch other people's reviews before I do mine, but I did catch the beginning of a young man's review. And he was saying how he was like, he didn't want to do the review. He felt drained. And believe it or not, I feel the same way. I'm like, ugh, you know, I can't even lie to y'all. 20 minutes in, I already have 4 pages of stuff written down. Like, it's a lot to unpack. It really is. But we're going to do the best we can tonight. You know what I'm saying? Again, we are Team Tamar. We support Tamar. We're riding with our sister. We want her to do better. And we're going to learn from her mistakes. And there were several mistakes made tonight. Okay. And we're going to touch upon all of them. All right. So, first of all, when the dream lady, when she was telling her that, you know, she shouldn't be having sex with David and he didn't understand that, I totally get it because you're mixing energy and things like that. But what really cracked me up, and it's, you know, Tamar dreams in a lot of detail. Like, she has addresses, phone numbers, colors, all kind of extra shit. I don't dream like that. I don't know. When I dream, it definitely really has meaning, but I usually just go to Google and ask what this means, and it's usually related to something going on. I interpret my own shit. I don't need anybody else to do that for me. But, you know, and when she was telling David how, you know, well, this woman manifested and Lady Gaga won an Emmy that night, and she said something else, and David was like, well, damn, you know, like, who is this? You know, what kind of witch is this? What kind of shit is she bringing to the table? She can do all of that. Who is she? Good question. Right. So, you know, Mona was on in the beginning and she made it clear, like, Tamar, when you're about to have a breakthrough, this is when we need you to continue filming. Like, you cannot shut down. This is the one thing that we don't want you to do. And of course, we know Tamar. It is what it is with her. They did show her home and it was beautiful. I loved her home. I love where she lives. And, you know, it's kind of crazy how we TV cut it to make it look like Tamar didn't have a home and she was living with David. You know, in those little blurbs before the show came up. But then they broke it down and David is calling that his house, too, because he stays there 4 days a week or whatever. But you have your own residence and she has hers. Okay, here's my thing. My biggest issue with the episode was her forcing Logan on him. Now get this, y'all. Y'all have heard me say this before. I do not understand women who you want your child to be calling some man stepdaddy and y'all are not even married. You can't call this man your husband, but you want your child to be feeling like this is their dad, and that is unacceptable. She also stated how she just wants an engagement ring to be engaged. She doesn't want to get married to him. She just wants to be engaged, which makes no sense at all. But I told y'all it's like a fantasy or fairy tale going on. David looks crazy to me. I don't know why every time I see him, I'm like, this dude is like totally bugged out. Something about him just is off. Yeah, he looks diabolical, you know, and we can tell by his movements, you know, and some things that he's done. So, you know, she made a statement and it troubled me when she said, yeah, because if I was Vince, I would feel bad, too, if another man was filling my shoes. He could never fill Vince's shoes, ever. That's Logan's actual father. He could never, ever, ever fill his shoes. That's never going to happen. That's what you ladies need to start understanding. You need to date for yourself. Don't date to replace your kid's father. Okay? You need to be the mother and the father when your children's father is not available, not around, or not involved. But you should not be dating a man with the hopes of replacing their father. That is crazy. You need to be focusing on the relationship that you're having with this individual. It's not even about that. Yes, it's a package deal in a sense, but I got to get to know you first and all of that. Like, your kids shouldn't be involved. And that is why your kids need to go to bed at night. Your kids need to go with their dads. See, so you can have your own life and you can date without your children being involved, because children shouldn't be a part of this. You know, like, Logan really knows him. She's like, oh, Logan loves him so much. And, you know, no, he can't replace Vince. Not never. Mm-hmm. So, you know, while Tamar's people are at the house, they're there to make music with her. And instead of her going downstairs to make music, she goes to the kitchen and makes this wonderful, fabulous dinner. Okay. Let me tell you something. Is it Tamar Ernestine or Philistine? She can cook. Okay. She made some fish, some spaghettis, all kind of stuff. But she was supposed to be downstairs singing while the people are down there waiting for her. She's distracted as usual. So, So she finally makes her way downstairs. So Vince shows up to drop Logan off. And Vince comes in the house and he goes downstairs and they have to cut the cameras off because at this point, David, the true queen princess, let's call him the princess. The true princess has decided, he made it clear that if Vince is shown on the show, he will not film. Okay. He will not be a part of the show if Vince is involved. All right. So, let's see what I said here. David refused to participate. Yes, if Vince was involved. So Tamar made a statement saying that she wants to parent like the white people. She wants to co-parent. I was a little put off by that statement because that's how I roll. I co-parent. Like I've never, received child support or none of that shit. So it's not about being black or white. It's about being level-headed and you want what's best for your child. What she could have said was, I don't want him to grow up like I grew up. Because that is pretty much the motivation for better parenting is that you don't want your child to go through what you went through. But Tamar is obsessed with white women. Y'all heard it. She got that white dream interpreter who listed only white women who she's helped. And now she's talking about she want to parent like the white people. Right. Okay. So the first time... this is her first time working without Vince. So when Vince came downstairs, she didn't want him to hear her music. She was like, shut it down or whatever. Here's my thing. Don't let your pride stop you from asking Vince a question. You and Vince have a great history musically. You don't have to involve him wholeheartedly, but you can ask him a question. You can utilize his opinion. Don't let David gone now, so it's late for that. But never let a man stop you on that level because at the end of the day, you had a prior relationship with that man. Yes, it's over, but you have a small child with him and that's your friend. It's over. I don't want you, but we still friends. So why can't I ask you a question? Why can't I involve you in something? You are musically inclined. I mean, hello, you're successful, right? So, David to me is just a blocker. David wants to be the center of attention. It's all about David. And Tamar is already a princess. So I don't know how she ended up with this princess. I don't know how that happened. How did that happen? Because the spotlight needs to be on him at all times. So it's just unbelievable. All right. So then she left. Now, mind you, so Vincent leaves with Logan. She's supposed to go back downstairs now. She sings like maybe, they probably cut it, but it looked like 4 lines she sings. And they're like, okay, great job. The dream lady is down there with her and everything. Next thing you know, she stops. And she goes, oh, do y'all mind if I go pray with Logan? So she goes get Logan and send him downstairs to sell candy to everybody. Now, mind you, when they went upstairs to eat, you could already see the frustration and feel the aggravation in all of their faces. Like, bitch, let's get this popping here. We didn't come to play games with you. Time is money. And when they did finally make it downstairs, I was really surprised to see all those people down there. I mean, you had the drummer, you had the guitarist, it was a full-scale operation going down there. Like, we came here to make music. There's no way she should have been upstairs doing all of that with all those people there. And the guy, the producer, I guess he was the music producer with the spotted jean jacket on. He was like, somebody said, are you leaving? I mean, I'm sure he was about to or wanted to. I mean, I'm that person that if I come to your house to pick you up and I've warned you and told you tonight, I'll leave your ass. Oh, yes, I will, because my time is not yours to waste. Absolutely not. I don't care how much I love you because it's disrespectful at a certain point. And that was very disrespectful the way she had them downstairs waiting on her. Okay, so if that wasn't bad enough, the creative director comes to the house, right? So this is after Vincent has picked up Logan. This is after she done put these people on hold. So the creative director comes. So she's texting on her phone while he's talking to her. And again, being disrespectful, she's distracted. It's fucking David. Right. Now, see, people call me aggressive and rude, but this is where I just would have cussed him out real quick and let him know that I'll get with you when I'm fucking done. Period. You have to shut people down sometimes. It just is what it is. Like I said, he's a princess. He needs to be stopped. So, okay. So he gets upset and he's mad because a man was in his home and he didn't know about it without his permission. Now, I was confused. Was he there when Vince came and he didn't know? But there were several men in his home. Okay. All those men were in his home. And my thing is this. Again, I said this before. Vince should be allowed to come there because his son lives there. And that's Tamar's house. You have your own house. Why do I need your permission? Okay. So I just feel like Tamar should have put her foot down. I feel like because Tamar to me put the responsibility on David and Vince when in reality you are the mother. It is your home. It is your relationship. And you need to set the rules, the boundaries, and the guidelines, okay? Because everything goes through you. So I would let David know, like, yes, I introduced y'all and y'all are cool, but you need to understand that this is my son's father and he can come here when he needs to. The fuck are you talking about? So with that being said, that is why it is difficult to be a woman with children dating a single man. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't understand. He's never had to share anything. He's a princess and he can be that. You know, he doesn't have any children. He doesn't have to sacrifice anything for anybody. He doesn't understand that you have to maintain a relationship with your ex in order for your child to be as successful as he can be. Because, you know, our society has told people that if your parents don't live in the same home, you are from a broken home. And like I said, that is not true. Okay? You have two parents who love you and take care of you. You just have two parents who love you and take care of you. You just have two different places that you can go when you feel like it. Okay, it's good. That's great. You have options. That's a wonderful thing in life. Options, right? We need to stop putting these stereotypes and labels on people when we know the reality is that the majority of people live separately for different reasons. And you shouldn't be labeled for that. So, you know, like I said, she wanted to, you know, co-parent like the white people, so she said. It was like I said, it was just a lot, you know. Yeah, but she needs to really handle her own life. Like she was like, you know, yes, Vincent is willing to have a discussion with you. But I'm just like, why? Because I'm confused. She's paying for her own house. Why does Vincent need to have a discussion with him about coming to see his son? It should be just automatically understood. His son lives here. He picks him up every day to take him to school and bring him back. Why is that a problem? See, but in the beginning, when Tamar made that first statement about, oh, he's filling Vince's shoes. See, that goes back to that. You don't never want to put that kind of bullshit out there, you know, because it's just not true. He's not. You know, that man should come there every day and get his son and take him back and forth to school. Why wouldn't he, you know? So the dream lady got annoyed with Tamar too. Well, no, let me back this up. So Tamar was so upset because David hadn't called her in 10 hours. It's like, good grief, girl. You know, she making a lot of dating mistakes because she hasn't dated recently. You know, she was married to Vince all that time or whatever. But girl, it ain't that serious, ladies. It's really not. If he don't call, he don't call. Especially when he's wrong. If he's wrong, then let him be wrong. Because that's your son and that is his father. Like, to me, that was just unacceptable. Like, David, who do you think you are? Seriously. So now, Vince can't come here without your permission. You know, like I said, thank God that relationship is over. Some people think they're going to get back together. I don't. I think it was about codependency. Seriously, you know. They were probably picking out dresses and drinking wine together because there's no way. And like I said, that's why I speak aggressively to people so they understand. And you got to put your foot down and you have to be clear. People dance around subjects too much. It was like she was afraid to say to him, listen, that's my son's father. What are you talking about? Of course he can come here and get him and take him to school. But no, instead, y'all need to discuss that. Y'all need to work that out between men. No, both of those are your relationships. You need to work that out. You need to have control and handle that shit. Right. I don't believe in involving Like, if you're the common denominator, you need to break that shit down. Like, that's on you. That's not on them. That's on you. That's how people end up getting killed and murdered over stupid ass arguments and shit. That's on you. You're responsible for your man and your baby daddy, right? They shouldn't be disputing about a goddamn thing. That's on you. Real shit. All right. So the dream woman, I forget what her name is. She was annoyed with Tamar too, because every time they get ready to break through, Tamar, she got to go do something else. She got to go work with Logan. You know, it's just always a reason for her not to do what she is supposed to do. So this is when things got really interesting for me. And Tamar, I really hope that she watches this part of the video back, because she was dead wrong. Okay. So the dream lady suggests to her that they go to a breaking room so she can break stuff and let her frustration out and, you know, just release some of this anger and this tension, because as y'all know, when you're upset, that's a good thing to do. Working out, you know what I'm saying? Playing a little baseball, relieving aggression that you can't get out in other ways. Oh my God, y'all, she flipped out. She was like, y'all not going to portray me as the angry black woman. Meanwhile, you're portraying yourself as an angry black woman. They don't have to do that for you. That's what you're doing. It was so bad to the point that her producer, I guess he's worked with her for years, he said, I will quit. I'm not going to be portrayed on TV as someone who is tearing down black women. That is unacceptable. I'm not going to do that. That is not who I am. But I'm just like, girl, you're not listening to what they're saying. So then a pregnant black female producer came on there and she said, I would never suggest anything that was going to disrespect other black women. But Tamar took that shit so far left. I'm like, what? I'm not going to be, I'm not arguing with nobody. Y'all just want to show me as this and this and that. Sweetie, I know that you've heard of a break room before. Why were you bugging? They didn't make you look like anything. When you took that shit to a level 20 and it definitely, you were off. You were all the way off, because that's not what they were trying to make it seem like at all. They were just saying, let's get some of this energy out. Let's leave the house, because every time we make a breakthrough, you go off and do something else. You don't really want a breakthrough. Yeah. That's what I'm gathering. You don't really want to break through. You got to put the energy out there and you got to put the work in. And what I also find interesting is she don't have no work for David, no energy for David. But let that have been one of her sisters or somebody. She would have cussed them out like a dog. And I did notice that in there they were saying how she hasn't spoken to her family members, you know, which is, you know, part of her problem. Like, you're lost. But the way she was just not interested in making music, not interested really in what this dream lady was saying, but so concerned about David's feelings. I was like, could somebody smack her, please? Girl, I really hope that she's watching these videos, this show back herself, because it's probably cringeworthy for her, especially now. Like, oh my God, she probably ain't watching this shit, because, you know, the lies have been revealed. You don't feel the same way about him. You see and you hear the things that you were saying. Like I said, oh, he's filling his shoes, like basically taking Vince's place. Never. You owe him an apology for saying that shit. Definitely. Oh, my battery's low. Yeah, you owe him an apology. And I suggest you get to it. Because I'm sure these are the things that you were upset about. These are the things that were troubling you. Mm-hmm. These are the reasons why you didn't want this show to air. But it's all good. You know, it's only up from here. But those are the things that I noticed, ladies. Don't involve your children in your relationship. Children are not dating this man. You are. Like when he left, she was like, oh, Logan was upset. He said that you weren't coming back. And then David said to her, oh, I spoke to Logan. Like, he shouldn't be speaking to Logan without you knowing he spoke to Logan. No. Unacceptable. I'm sorry. Absolutely not. All right, y'all. Until next week. Until we meet again, friends. Deuces. Oh, and thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate you. I told you. Can't find my mouse now, but let me click off.